We are Blood and Thunder by Kesia Lupo. Prologue. A Crippling. Before the storm cloud, Lena swept the last of the dust into her sack and stood up on the tall, wiping a grimy hand across her forehead. Her brass lantern flickered across the crypt's rough-hewn walls as a hunter slunk past, a twitching rat hanging from its jaws. He dropped it and purred at her before savaging the poor creature's torso. The largest mouser prowling the crypts, Hunter was vicious, ginger, and apparently immortal. For the 100th time, Lena wondered why he'd picked her bed in which to sleep, leaving dubious gifts of rodents and birds at its foot. Lena tied the dust sack shut and hoisted it over her shoulder, casting one last look at the empty, fresh, polished sarcophagus, where the body would be laid in the morning for its last rites. The descent. Her stomach twisted and she swallowed hard as bile rose in her throat. Earlier in the afternoon, she'd been allowed to watch while the mortician Vigo prepared the body in one of the special rooms beneath the gardens. She had managed, but only by digging her nails hard into her palms, to stop herself from fainting. The man's ancestors lay all around, stretching into the darkness, now attuned to the scent of the mortician's special preserving ointments. Lena picked out the sharp herbal smells beneath the ever-present musk of her world. The tomb itself was relatively small, and while noble families had luxury of individual sarcophagi, the stonemason's family, like most others, had cut long, body-shaped niches into the walls, one over another, or shared two bodies to a resting place. Husband with wife, sister with brother, baby with mother. Each body's empty eye sockets had been sewn open, their eyes replaced with smooth rocks painted as eyes, or sometimes glittering gemstones. Mortician Vigo said that the ancestors were sleeping, but Lena didn't think so. They were staring at the ceiling, at the floors of the living world above, waiting. Waiting for what? A chill ran down her spine. She touched her forehead, lips and heart in the old sign of reverence. When she'd been very little, the ancestors had frightened her. She had nightmares about staring stone eyes, about the way the older corpses' flesh and skin were shrunken and leathery, but their hair as thick as lustrous as the day they died. How, from certain angles, even the oldest of the ancestors looked like living people lying in the dark. But now she was 11, almost grown up, and she wasn't afraid of anything. Hunter mewed, and Lena nearly jumped out of her skin. "I'm not afraid of anything," she reminded herself firmly, calming at her racing heart. "All right, let's go," she whispered to the cat, after a deep breath. "It's a long walk back." She tried not to hurry as she started down the passage under the upper town, leading to the network of small cellars beneath the castle that the cripplings called home. You weren't meant to hurry. It wasn't respectful, Mortician Vigo said. Hunter weaved through her legs, in and out of the lantern light, very nearly tripping her up. For a time, everything was quiet and ordinary. The only sounds, the occasional scuttle of a rat, or the snap of one of the mousetraps. Lena had set on her way down. The cripplings and the cats were supposed to keep the vermin at bay, but as she drew further through the cobweb passages, she started to hear something strange. A voice. It grew louder, gradually a low, rhythmic murmur drifting from somewhere up ahead. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. You're going to have to check it out for yourselves if you want to know more. Alright, thank you all.